So far, it looks like we haven't broke anything. I swear, every time we take a vacation or we take time off or in between weeks, we come back on the first, for me, Monday. And, holy crap, nothing works. But, it looks like we might get lucky today. Woo! Gary Goody, welcome! And thank you for that like. Appreciate that big time. All right, let's load in here because we are working on nozzles. We got about halfway through creating the nozzles. StarRupture. The game is StarRupture. It is a mixture between a factory style game, but it has some exploration, it has some base defense. It's got kind of a mixture of items. If you've ever played a game like Satisfactory or Factorio, this is that style of game. However, you get more, lots more. You get lots more exploration, lots more lore, not lots more, just lots more everything. And I know Satisfactory has lore, and I know that it has its own pieces and stuff to the game. Just the one thing, in my opinion, and never knocking Satisfactory, game is a fantastic game, 100%. But for me, it always just kind of seemed like it was lacking a few little pieces to it. And this game gives me those pieces that I like. So you get, there's guns and there's little crazy little bug creatures that attack you and can attack your base. So you got to do a little bit of base defense in there as well. You got a lot of lore and story in there. You've got some outside missions like the Forgotten Engine over there to get that started, but you have to build your factory so that you can make the part you need to go there and open that up, and then that unlocks some more lore. It automatically has multiplayer from the start, which is super cool. So you can automatically get this game, get a couple of friends, hop right into it, and everybody just go right at it as a group right from the very beginning. And for an early access game, that is almost unheard of to be able to do. So yeah, this game's really, really cool. If you like factory games in any form or fashion, you're gonna like this game. But if you've always felt like me that maybe the factory games were missing just a little bit more to them, this game's going to give it to you. Hands down. Now, is it perfectly bug-free? No. We're 6 weeks. It's like 7 days but space. Nah, I don't know if we're quite that way, Undead. But it is you don't get quite the same base building, but you do build out a factory, get parts, pieces, lots of exploration. Map is huge. For an early access game, this map is massive, massively large. Lots of stuff to explore, lots of stuff to go find, lots of places to build. Yeah, no, and they're already talking about the items for the next upcoming update, which should be here, I would think, in the next couple of weeks. We're going to see the first major update, which is going to add even more to the game, unlock more of the map, unlock more of the story, add more of everything, and do a lot of quality of life fixes that people have been asking for. So, yeah, these guys are on it, man. These guys are creating a phenomenal game. What do you do with all the stuff you're making? Okay, so some of the stuff that you're making here, let me see if I can find it. I don't think I actually have one set up just yet because we're not ready to ship the nozzles off. But you make these orbital cargo launchers, and the stuff you make goes in those, and you launch them off to the corporations. Gary, thank you for the share. Appreciate that big time. Let's see. So here, go back over here. So where did I put my base? There's my base up there. This is part of the bases, okay? Everywhere I put one of these base areas that allows you to build within an area, I always put these habitats, and that's because part of the game called StarRupture is that right there is a star. And that star, every 40 minutes or so, I think it is, it ruptures and basically fries all of this vegetation and all of the bugs and animals and everything completely off of the planet. Not your stuff. Your buildings all survive. But if you get caught out in it, you get fried too. So you just got to, sometimes you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Just an added little feature. They did a great job with the flames and everything. Okay, orbital launchers, orbital cargo launchers. So you create those, and what you have is this corporate terminal. You got 5 corporations. When you open this up, each one requires different materials to be shipped to them. So you start off with level 1, and basically you're doing just basic titanium and wolfram bars. Basically it's your iron and copper. And then piece at a time you build up to wire and frames and all kinds of stuff like that. And as you build up, you unlock additional items that you will make your life easier and or give you something that you're going to use to build other stuff going forward. And so you work through the tiers. Right now, tier 11 is it. More cures will come when they do the next update. But you're trying to make these items to ship off to these guys, to these different corporations. And that's where the factory portion of the game comes in. I hate to say and make any comparison with 7 Days. 7 Days doesn't really have a factory to it. It's pretty much just explore and defend, whereas in this game has a very large factory aspect to it that I think would set it in a completely separate genre. However, you do have to worry about food and water. You do have to get in, in a base or a hidden area, not to get burnt when the star ruptures. You do have some, there can be some similarities, but we're not talking zombies, we're talking bugs. And the water and food is very easy to find. It's not much of that kind of thing. What do I get in return for all this effort for the corporations? Well, right now, again, early access, you don't get shit. There's nothing there. Steve Fowler, welcome. You don't get anything. You keep doing these. They keep making these stuff and sending these things up to them, and it just unlocks the next level, which I guess in some cases you can get these LEM chips that help your skills and abilities go up, and that's maybe a gift. But outside of that, it just unlocks more to do. Now, there's speculation that at the point in time the game gets done, you're a criminal that's been sent to this place. So there is speculation that the end story of this game is that you will earn your freedom to get back off of this planet. But for now, yeah, it's just build. It's just build, explore, that kind of stuff is really what the game is at this point. That is the life of it. Terza, welcome. If you like building and stuff like that, this game is absolutely wonderful at it. I can't wait till the next update because there are some quality of life items that will be very needed and useful. Because there are things like if I go to the build menu and do these. So there's items that have these build things that are multi-rails. So you can have one post and you can run 3 different items on one rail. Problem is at these post lengths, the cargo likes to switch between rails. And when it does that, it completely screws up your whole system. And so that's a quality of life thing. Everybody's kind of pretty much waiting for the next patch to fix so that we can use those. Because they've even got one that is 5, I think it's 5 rails on it, which there's areas where that would make it so much easier. Especially areas like, where do I have one? Areas like this right here. So I've got multiple items here trying to run to these fabricators to build me something else. Right now, I have to use separate poles or connectors because the triple rail piece, the stuff goes all over the place and it just becomes an absolute nightmare and it gets clogged up and screwed up in every possible way. Once we get those rails back, this will be a whole lot easier to do, and items will be able to switch the rails and go in a whole lot easier, and we won't have to do this funkiness. Aaron, welcome. So there's just little quality of life things that are coming. I mean, they already know about them. They're in the next patch. They've already pretty much said what's there and what's coming. So a lot of this stuff that they released is going to get fixed. So for now, we're just going to work through it. All right, so we're trying to build nozzles. Nozzles in this game are one of the, in my opinion, one of the most difficult items to build. And that, it has a lot of different moving parts to it that cause it to be that issue. You've got Lee, welcome. You've got a lot of different moving pieces you've got to put in here, and finding one, it's big. So you need these stabilizers. Well, to make stabilizers, you need 2 more items to make stabilizers. To do that, you need another 2 more items to do that. And then that's just one piece. Then you've got a whole other item that you have to build, and that's 3 more pieces that make that item. So as you do this, this is a heck of a pyramid. It's probably one of the biggest in this game to make. Most of the other items, I have a single player game that I do some testing on, and I do some building in just to see what's there. And I'm slightly ahead in the game than where my live stream is. So I kind of have an idea of what's coming. And most of those items that are coming up are 2 to 3 pieces that make that item. But you've already got supply lines set up for those. When you get to this nozzle, you don't have all of those supply lines fully set up yet, so you are still making those, which is the part that makes this more complicated. Okay, so we've got stabilizers. Now I'll go over here and show you what we're making. I'll show you the pieces here. John Lee, welcome. I'll show you what we're trying to make that we have to use and get shipped off. We also need it for future parts that the corporations are going to want. So we need to make the heat sheets. We've already got the stabilizers figured out, and helium-3. Helium-3 is a raw material, so we just draw it up and ship it over. Super easy. But these stabilizers take quite a bit of effort, and the heat sheets take quite a bit of efforts. How you doing? Love this game. How many days are you in? Well, it doesn't really have a day counter that I know of. But we are in playtime. I am 50 hours just for this playthrough. I have another playthrough that I'm pushing 50 hours on. I have a playthrough that I'm multiplaying with my wife. We're good 50 some hours into it. Yeah, no, I'm pushing 300 hours worth of game time in this game now. John Lee, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Wonderful. Thank you. So I've put a lot of time into this game so far. Love every second of it, having a blast with it. It's worth, in my opinion, if you have any like for factory building games, but you've always felt that they're missing just a little, StarRupture is your game. Absolutely get it. My favorite part of this game, See, I can't call a favorite single part of this game. That's the hard thing. Okay, hang on real quick. We need heat sheets, wolfram plate, titanium sheet, and glass. I'm making glass elsewhere, so I need titanium sheets. I need to figure out where I'm at. I've been off for a couple of days. I haven't really looked at where I'm at yet. Okay. No. You, I think, are my... Okay, so you're my piece. I need titanium sheets to come over here. Okay, so this game's got... It's got your factory building, which is, you know, what you see right here. And again, I've got factories over there, and I've got factories over there, and I've got factories way over there, and all the way over that hill, I've got another factory. So the factory building is really good. Once they get the quality of life patch in and fix some of the little jank, that'll make a lot of that easier. The map is massive. I love that. Gives me lots and lots of stuff to explore. And right now it's just got a series of bugs. So I've got creatures to fight. So if I want to go spend a little time and take a break from the factory building, I can. And I can go explore. And exploring is mandatory. I mean, you're going to have to go explore. So it gives you a reason to go explore. And I like that. It gives you a reason to build. I like that. It adds reason behind everything. And so it's hard for me to say that there's one part of the game that I favor more than another. It really is, because each one of them has a point to it. It's not just here's some busy work, here's some garbage, go do this. There's reasoning. And so I want to go do it. And that, to me, is important. Giving me busy work that doesn't give me any reason to go do it, I absolutely hate that in a game. I hate that when it comes to a game that just gives you garbage. Like, here, go do this. Why? Well, because we couldn't think of anything else to put in the game. No, don't do that with me. Let's see. How do you manage to keep it becoming too confusing? Oh, you don't. I'm going to be so honest with you on that one. For any of the people who have been to my streams, just about every single time I get on this stream, I'm like, so what were we working on? Where were we going? What were we doing? Shit, I don't remember what we were doing. The only reason I know exactly what we were doing this time was because I stopped at a very specific point and I reminded myself twice this weekend what we were doing today. And I'm like, okay, we have to finish the nozzle base today. What I can't wait for, or I'm excited for, is being able to change the base core names so I know where things are at. Because I know I'm building stuff here, but what am I building? I know I've got stuff building here, but what exactly am I building there? I know I've got stuff building all out here, but what is it? So that's the part of the game right now that's frustrating and makes it very hard to kind of keep track of what you're doing and where. For my base, fairly easy as long as I continue to work on it till it's finished. It's when I take a break and I come away from the game and then I'm doing other things and then I try to come back to the game, then it takes me a while to figure out what was I doing? What do I need to do next? They make it fairly easy to figure that out. Jumps, Brian, welcome. They do make it fairly easy to figure out because all you got to do then is just go back to the corporate board and be like, okay, what's the next part that I need to make? And you do have a way of looking up what recipes that you have already. So in that case too, you do have ways to figure it out. It's kind of bad for a streamer, just because you guys don't want to see me spend a half hour trying to figure out exactly what the heck we were doing last stream. So that's where I have to on my own be like, okay, what were we doing? All right, yeah, remind yourself what you were doing because you're gonna forget. So right now I know we're trying to get our nozzles done, which we're building this whole base just to do nozzles. We've got our stabilizers, which is a big piece, a major component we need. We got to bring in the helium, which is no big deal. We'll just ship that in. I've already got a base where that's being hauled up at. No problem there. Now I need to make the heat sheets, and that's not overly complicated. We just need to do it. We have lots of stuff here. If you don't know where this is, you play this game, you don't know where this is, the start area is, your lander is right here, and you come up and out of the area, come out of that lander area, and you've got your first titanium and your first wolfram. If you can see this here from your base. This has got like a radio dish or satellite dish kind of thing attached to it, and you can see this one on the hill. These are the first two places you're gonna go to find blueprints that you need to continue the game. Between these is a little valley that you go into, and you've got this wolfram right here, and you've got all of this titanium up here. And I say all this titanium because up there are 2 pure nodes and 3 normal nodes. Pure nodes give you 8 iron or titanium a second, and the normal give you 4. There is so much right here that you can build off of in the game, and you can get here really early and easy in the game. So it's a great place to know about. Ramen noodles, welcome. Yeah, keeping track of what you're doing in the game, though, could be a real pain, especially when you get bigger bases and you're doing a lot of stuff. It can be quite the challenge. Okay, we got to fill this little hole in so that we can... Now, as you can see, I'm trying to leave gaps, and that right now is because of the way the game saves and the way the game builds. Hopefully in the future we won't have to do that, but for right now you kind of do, because if you try to do one big flat spot that you can build on, the game, the way it calculates structural integrity and power, it will cause it to lag really bad when you're trying to build if this gets too big. But all you have to do is just leave a single gap and make little modules basically, and separate out these pieces like I've done here, and that just keeps it from getting overloaded. Your options are, they're absolutely limitless. There's so much that you can do and plan, and nobody's base. I want to skip that right there. Nobody, so far as I know, nobody does exactly the same thing. Viewers have been like, oh, I didn't think about doing that. And some viewers have shared things with me and been like, and I've been like, oh, well, I didn't even think about that way. So yeah, the stuff that you can come up with, the way that you can do it is just, everybody can do it differently, and it's not a big deal. Doesn't mean yours is going to work better than his or hers or theirs or any of that stuff. It's just lots of different ways to do exactly the same thing, depending on who you are, how your mind works. Mine is a beautiful mind, and it doesn't work most of the time. So there have been times viewers have been like, did you know you could do that? I'm like, no, do what? I can? Oh, that's kind of cool. Never thought whatsoever that would be different, or that I could do that. So that's why I like working with you guys when it comes to doing some of these games, because you guys think of stuff that my brain is like, huh? Big time. Let's see. Channels be able to upgrade and streamline. This is so if you've played Satisfactory, this game is kind of in the same way. You're going to tear apart your base and you're going to rebuild parts on this place a lot. Now, so far, I've avoided full overhauls. I have not had to do a full overhaul yet on any of my base sections or any of that stuff. However, I've talked to quite a few viewers, and you guys, some of you guys have been like, "Oh yeah, no, I tore down the whole thing and rebuilt the whole thing all over again." And again, it's how your mind works. You know, what works best for your brain. If doing that, go for it. Me, I try to plan enough in the future, and because I played so much of Satisfactory back, you know, when it first released, I have a little bit of a think ahead. I'm like, okay, if I'm building this part, I would rather build it in one spot and then ship it to other spots, rather than, you know, try to ship everything into one place and then build something and then tear it all down because now I have to make a new part and this format doesn't work. Let's see. Love the challenge being able to upgrade. Yeah, and this game does it. Again, you start off with, you know, single rails, and this is pretty standard, 120 items per rail. You do a couple of missions and whatnot and ship a couple of parts to the corporations, and they give you rail 2. And you get 240 items per. So the big thing in this game is if you constantly think of how can I expand this? How can I add 2 more fabricators? How can I add 2 more smelters? How can I add, you know, because then as you upgrade your rails and it can ship faster, you can add more items. So if you always kind of keep that in the back of your head, can I add 1 or 2 more to the end of this row? That's a good mindset to have when it comes to being able to upgrade and expand. All right, we need this piece here because I'm shipping. That's a pure node, so that's 8. And I got a regular node, which is 4, so I've got 12. And I could run 12 smelters off of that right there. So we're going to take this. Yeah, we're just going to stretch it out and move it right there. And I think I'm going to leave that right there. And then we need to fit in 12 smelters. Cool thing about this game is you get to a certain point, you unlock a drone, which does make a very easy way of being able to build on your base. It doesn't work very good if you're doing a lot of cross-country work because it doesn't really fit the grid very well and it has a limited range. But when you're at your base, adding 2 things, building a functional area in one spot, it works really well. All right, so I think I'm going to rotate. Hang on. I need to rotate this thing. There we go. I want to put it on this side, send the goodies this way. So we will put it right there. So I can put 12. Hopefully I get 12 in here. We'll see. Let's lock the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, can't reach that far. That's what I say. You're kind of limited. All right, let's put one of these right there. This is probably not the most efficient way to do this, where everything runs down one line. But as soon as I get tier 3 rails, it really won't matter. It'll move fast enough that it can just push it all through really quick. So I'm not gonna stress on it horribly bad at the moment. I might actually just cheat that a little bit here. I think I needed one more, right? Needed one more. So this is probably the third time that I've built this base or this production line. I've gotten actually pretty proficient at building this one particularly. Previously, I've had some serious problems where there's been some backup where I haven't produced enough of an item, and I've had to try to expand the base out and produce more. It hasn't worked all that great, but we're getting better at it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going... Pack of squids. Welcome, and thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. All right, so here's where we have some survival. We've got some food and water that we have to deal with in this game as well. You can do stuff to upgrade and reduce your food and water usage through these LEMs, these little computer chips that you can use. It doesn't completely stop it, but less of an issue for it to become for you. So, and let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do this a little weird. But it's gonna work. I promise you. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna go here. There and there. Now here's where I'm gonna use the drone, because this is where it makes it a lot easier. If you hit Y when you're got a part out, it locks it to that level. So this won't bop up or down on me. I could just go right through it. So click there, click there, click there. And right here is a little bit weird, because if you look where my cursor's at is not exactly where I'm putting that item, because the cursor is basing it off of the ground grid and not the new grid that I've put together. Again, something I believe they're fixing, so it makes it a little weird as you're doing it right now. Not a huge deal, not a breaker of any sort. You just got to be aware that if you're playing it right now, well, your cursor's pointing at the world grid and not pointing at the grid you've created, which technically it matches the world grid underneath. So I don't know why it's an issue, but it is. And then occasionally you get this. I came out of the drone and now my item that I'm trying to build is way over there and not right here. So I just double click the B, drop out of that, hit B again, opens up my build menu, and now everything's correct. So if you're playing the game and you're having that problem, that's how you fix it for now. Okay. Let's see. So we're going to go here, and then we want it split 50-50. We don't want everything to wait. We want to be able to get it to move. So we're going to split 50 out this way, and they're going to roll all the way down to these last 6. So instead of having to wait and pause and fill in these, the 50% is going to jump down to these 6. It should speed up the process of getting the raw materials to the smelter. And then these are very particular. Really, you can only do them one way. If I clicked on, it won't let me click on here to try to do it this way. It's the in or outs. I can only click on here to go in. Makes it pretty easy. You can't really, it keeps you from screwing it up and then not being able to figure out why it's not working. Biggest thing that I've found that people have trouble with is why is my product not flowing? Why am I not getting what I need? Well, it's one of two reasons. Either you've got one of these long ones going in the wrong direction, meaning here I'm flowing ore from there down this way. If one of these is flipped over the other way, because it won't stop you on these ones from going whatever direction you want, it won't flow past that. It'll act like that's not even there. So this one wouldn't get any materials. And the other is that you've got the wrong item in here, your recipe selected for what is available on this rail line. Those are the two biggest troubleshooting things that you'd have to go look at if you're trying to figure out why is this not working. That's why. Usually that's one of the reasons why. You got a rail pointing the wrong direction. You got the wrong product selected in the item that's not working in comparison to what is available on that rail line. Commander Cody, Samuel Hera. Commander Cody, this game is called StarRupture. It is a mixture of a factory builder game, an exploration game, and a base defense game, all put into one. And it is fantastic of a game. You get to build factories, but if building factories is not your ultimate goal, you like to go explore, you can explore. There's creatures to kill, guns to make, and blueprints to find, and all those fun things that you get to go do that may, some of the other factory games don't give you the opportunity to do. So it sets itself aside on that. It's got a lot of deep lore that you can find, explore, see, hear. It is early access, so it has, but it does have multiplayer from the very start. So you will get to play multiplayer with your friends if that's what you're into. And it has a huge map, a lot to do. A lot of early access games in the beginning, they don't have a lot to do. And a new update is coming here real quick. Next couple weeks, we'll have a major update that's going to open up some more area. This out here is Steve Fowler. Thank you for the follow. This is all radiation, and it's their way of keeping you from going into areas that aren't ready yet in the game. So some areas, the radiation will come away, and we'll be able to explore new areas, have new resources to go after, new areas to explore, more story to find. So yeah, it's going to be game's wonderful. Game's a fantastic game for the price. I mean, shoot. For an early access game, this absolutely is a winner, 100%. I was up in the mountains this weekend. A little dehydrated. Okay. Alright, so we're getting all this moving. We're producing what we need here. So now I want to take this stuff, and really isn't... No, maybe can I squeak it in here? Let's go see. Let's see if we can squeak it in here. We need fabricators. We might be able to squeak some fabricators in here. Let's see what we can do here. We might be able to get away with this. Unintentionally, I might be able to get away with this. Okay, so these are 1 for 1. You pump out 2 titanium sheets every 2 seconds. In this case, we're pumping out 2 titanium bars every 2 seconds. So we'll get 2 and we'll use 2. All right, hey, you guys are going to see a rupture. Euphoro Whiskey, welcome. So this star is going to rupture here in a second, and it's going to scour all this life and everything off of the planet. Except for us, we're going to be here. I want to get a few more of these in because I always like to race the clock. I can't help it. I build to the last second. It's a bad habit. Bad habit. I've died several times from doing it. Oh, come on. You can see the world's getting brighter. There's a sound you hear, like a booming. That also helps tell you. They do everything they can to warn you that there's a rupture coming, so you're not a big fat dummy. If you are, then like me, it's your own fault. And I do it all the time. All right, let's there you go. Wave warning. Let's go hide in our base so that we do not get fried. And I'll show you guys. This is part of the game. I think they did an absolute phenomenal job. If you're going to name a game StarRupture, you better make that StarRupture look freaking awesome. And so here we go. This absolutely, woo, is phenomenal. Oof. Man, that looks, every time I see it, that looks just as awesome as the first time I've seen it. Jaden, welcome. And then, so what happens now is your whole base is overheated, and your core helps dissipate that heat from everything that is within its radius. And you can upgrade your core so it dissipates more heat or it dissipates faster. And so this is another part of the game. The ruptures and then the heat management and dealing with your base cores. You have to protect your base cores. The base cores can be attacked by the little bug creatures. They can infect it. They can essentially just shut it down, and it will shut down your entire base. And then it makes it even harder to get your base back. You have to fight the bugs for it, and it can be a real pain in the rear. Again, just another cool thing that they've added to the game. It's just another piece to it. Just another fun little part of the game that you do have to deal with instead of just building. You do have the rupture comes through. It screws up everything. Everything overheats, and so nothing will work until the heat dissipates by the base core. So it's shooting out the steam, and then when this goes back green, ba-doom. So the better that you have your base set up, and you manage your power and whatnot, the faster it'll get turned back on and running again after a rupture. You can overload it to the point that if I have a rupture, man, you're not getting it takes forever before it unlocks again for you, so you lose a lot. Let's see. Eden Crafter's Ocean World has the same vibe. I would expect so. I played a little bit of that game, and I unfortunately wasn't really able to get into it like some people have, and so I've kind of struggled. I struggled with that game a lot. I didn't get to play as much of it as I think I probably would have liked. Okay, so let's get our exits going here so we can start rocking and rolling with what we were still building. We're trying to get the nozzles done. Again, one of the more, in my opinion, one of the more complicated items that you have to make in this game. You've got to make stuff. It's probably 9 or 10 individual level items that you have to put together to have 3 items to put into it, and so it takes quite a bit to make it happen. Okay, we're going to run into a problem right here. There is not enough room between that and this rock for me to get more fabricators in here. And even if I can fit the fabricators in here, I don't think I'm going to be able to get these rail line connectors in there for this to work very well. Big Block, welcome. Shoo-hoo. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I think what I'm going to do first is let's finish Macbeth Gaming. Welcome, Macbeth. You do nothing. I will do anything and everything, even if it's the wrong thing. get these plates out. I need to go look and see how many fabricators I have making wolfram powder, or wolfram plates, because I want to match them up so that when they come, just Leroy Jenkins it. Absolutely. You know, just Leroy Jenkins the heck out of it and hope for the best. Okay, now we're going to put a little buffer. We're going to put a little storage point right here. Just because I don't want things running without a reason. So we're going to put it right in there. We're going to let this run. We're going to store those. And now all of this will just stay running and spitting it all out. And eventually we'll figure out how to get this stuff over here. So we've got 6 fabricators making titanium plates. And we need to go over here and look at our wolfram plates, because we got to match up wolfram and titanium plates along with glass. And so we're going to look here and see how many fabricators we have making those. All right, so this whole section right here. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 8. All right. A little less than we have. Let's go see how many... oh, come on. There we go. What is the match up? We're doing heat sheets. Heat sheets. So we need twice as many titanium sheets as we have of wolfram plates. I really wish they just named this titanium plate or name that wolfram sheet so that at least we were matching up. It matters to my brain. I know. Most people be like, I don't care. It matters to my brain. My brain just starts tweaking. And, you know, then it's glass. Can it be a glass sheet? Glass plate? I don't know. Anywho, I'm off to the side. So we need twice as many titanium sheets. We are not going to have twice as many titanium sheets, so that's not going to be quite as proficient as it needs to be. Is it? What is the production of these? These are 1 to 1. That's so weird. So you got 2. On some of them, they're times 2 seconds. But this one, they've got, it's 1 every 1 second. I don't understand who's doing the mathematics over there. But can we be consistent? Just a little bit. I don't know. You know. Just my thoughts. Let's just be consistent. Again, some of you don't know, but I'm project manager. Did it for 15 years, and it was all software development, those kind of items, those stuff. Some in the DoD, Department of Defense environment, and consistency is key. Was a big piece, man. Got to make it so that a monkey smacking his head on the keyboard doesn't break it. All right, so we got to get we have to get these 6 working. Let's see, how do we? Why does that not look like 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why does that look like 5 and not 6? Oh, because we tapped into this one. Gotcha, that's why. Did that fill up all the way? No, it didn't fill up all the way. Why are you not? What? Why are you not filling in there? Okay, well, there's a little glitch right there. Shogun Shop. Welcome. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are we struggling here? We should be... Okay. Oh, it's got no power. It's got no power. It disconnected it. Ah, ha, ha, ha. See? That's what I say. Sometimes my brain doesn't function. There we go. There we go. Just got to put a little bridge in there, not a full plate. Come on, there you go. All right. All right, we fixed our problem. See, sometimes it's something stupid. And if it's going to be stupid, it's going to be my brain that figures it out. Okay, so we need more fabricators. We got to, let's stuff as many fabricators right here as we can. And I think, yeah, the last two really aren't going to make it. I can't get those to work the right way. So which way do we go? See, this line right here is the range in which that tower is reaching. I can't build outside of that that line. Could I just get creative here and go like this? And do this right here. Why? We don't have enough power. Again, not enough power. That's okay. We'll fix that real quick. We'll take that one here. We'll take this out here. And then we'll put another one of these right here. We'll connect them to here. And one will just split to that one. And one will split to this one. And then we'll run that line back around over there. And we'll connect it back. No big deal. All right, where is our power? There's our power there. What else can we build? Power. I guess we'll just put more wind turbines down. We can put them over here. We're not building anything more out this direction, so we'll just do that. And you can get other items for power. You start off with cheap little solar panels. Then you bump up to wind turbine level 1, then you get up to turbine level 2, or solar generator level 2, and then wind turbine level 2. Kicker is you see how in the center core overheat level is 1017 out of 1,000 points? Well, that tower can only cover 1,000 points worth of heat. We just exceeded that. Well, there's ways to fix that. 1, you can upgrade your core, or 2, you unlock this thing. And this is just an added heat sink. And bump, bump, we're good. And I'll add a few of these in here because I'm going to be adding more to this whole thing. So there's a balance, more than just saying balancing my resources and my logistical flow. You've got to worry about your power. You've got to worry about heat dissipation from the whole thing. And there's multiple ways to solve every one of these problems. There's multiple ways to solve them. So you really have a lot of freedom in making a determination of how you want to solve your problems. How you want to, what's more important to solve, one thing more than another. Many ways. Okay, so now we need to come up with a way to ship this stuff back over. So we're going to put that right there. And then I'm going to put one right here, but I'm going to extend it up nice and high. So we'll grab that, and we'll put that right there. We'll take this one, and we'll exit it right there. Then we'll take this one, and we're going to jump it all the way up top. Let's see. Captain Derp, welcome. My issue was the bigger the factory, the more collision there was. Fixed it, though. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, in this game, that's one of the things that I've kind of pulled together, is that in this game, unlike some other factory games, it does more to encourage smaller area manufacturing rather than one big, massive mega base. And that's where it one of the ways that it differs from several of the other factory games is that it definitely says, you know, I don't need to do a mega factory. I want you to do smaller ones and bring the parts together. Okay, this one we're going to do plates, but we haven't really told it yet, so it's going to be weird. Let's see. I put storage at the output of every machine so I can run through and see what. That's an idea. That's an idea. Definitely an idea. Okay, we got to do. So now we got to tell these to make what I want. Tell them to make what I want them to make. Are you making what I want you to make? Yes. Okay. Let's go tell everybody to make something. Make something, anything. Okay. Alrighty, let's put ourselves one line there and one line there, and we're gonna do just a little bit of kind of keeping some things split up just a tad. I don't want to overwhelm any one line. We've got a lot of stuff producing. We've only got tier 2 rails right now, so we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's see. It also helps catch up when it's not. Yeah, absolutely, it does. Ooh, shoot. Excuse me. It's kind of this is like my Monday, so I gotta get warmed up for the week. Oh man. Whew, my nose is. Elevation change. We went way up in the mountains this weekend for it was just 2-day trip. But then I'm way up there, and then I come back down here, lower elevation, and whoo. Educate your bag. Welcome. Okay, so now here's where we're gonna get a little screwy. So I've got my plates that I need here. I've got my other plates that I need way down here. Here somewhere. There. And I need to bring glass in. So I need to get this plates to marry up. I'd like it all to marry up right here. I'd like it to. Will that happen? You don't know if I have enough room. I'd like to do it down. The reason I'd like to do it here is I need to put like 4 furnaces in down here. And then we can put it all together. Well, I've got my stabilizers right there. I'll be making my heat sheets right there. I could fly, and I have to fly in helium, so then I could just fly it in, attach it all, and we could go together. But I'm thinking those pieces need to go down here. The final production line is going to be here. So I really do need to get this stuff brought in down there. And I think I can. Do I have a hole in the floor? I have a hole in the floor. Well, we got to fix that because my dumbass is going to walk right into that. Okay. I need to sneak these over this stuff. I might be able to do it right here. If I could bring that out. Can I get that right there? Can I go right here and then sneak it over to here? Let's try. Let's see what we can do. This is the part where it could be kind of interesting to do here. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to take this all the way max height. Okay. That is higher than this one. So we could do that. And then we just step it over here. I don't know if we can go the full length of that. Hang on. I have a line that does go the full length. Yeah, we can. We can. We can. We can. Okay, full height. There we go. That'll scoop it right over the top of all of this. And then I just need to put it right here. Rack it all the way up to the max height. Take this. Grab that. We're going to go this way. Run it all the way down here. And attach it right there. Okay, so that puts both my sets of sheets. That'll put both my sheets down there where I want them. And, oh my goodness. Man, are we going to get this to work? Okay, so the question is, I'm going to need to put one right here too, because there's no way. There's no way we're going to get that to miss this machine to get to this connector. Okay, all right. So we're up. We're out of our storage and our production area. We're zippity-doo-dah in here. We're just sliding it over here, and then we're doing exactly like what we're doing right there, and we're shipping it all the way down here to the other end so that we can match up with what we've got going and the titanium plates right here. Okay, now we have to bring in helium. First, I need to see how much room I have with my furnaces. So we're going to go into this mode so that I get a little height. Okay, so we're bringing in heat, wolfram sheets there. We're going to have to bring in titanium plates right there. Then the third line here is going to have to be helium. So the best we can do really to make this work is to put this one right here. If I put it off, can I get away with it putting it off? I mean, I could just, this one would just go to the outside. I think I'm just going to do this though, because I like the break between the two of them. Okay, how many can we fit in here? Let me get one more. Why is it not stable? Why are you not stable? Okay, let's go find out what is not stable about right here. Not enough supports. That's what it's looking for. Looking for more supports. Okay, that's all right. We can put them in. No big deal. We'll just drop these right on in here. That will solve that completely. See, this guy didn't care about them, though. Why does this guy care? This may be one of those weird janky things that is going to upset me, because these guys don't care. They're built on the same honeycomb platform as this one would be. And it does not like... It says it's colliding with another building now. Building is not stable. Okay, you are stable. See, I can come forward one and I'm good. I go back one and I'm good. I can't go up. Okay. So this is where the game is a little weird, in my opinion here. There's some stuff that works really well and some that doesn't fully explain. Like, there is more than enough support to put this on here. Let's just see if we take those off and we bump this up by itself. This is just kind of one of those weird... I've had it do something like this to me before, where it just wants to get a little funky. See, the guy right there. See, if you look at this one, he's built on the same thing, the same setup as what I would be building right here. But for some reason, it wants to tell me, see, now it wants to say it doesn't have enough support. If I pop it down 1, it says, yeah, okay, I'm good. Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Why does that one little difference... I don't... Well, I can drop the whole thing down 1 click. What I don't understand is this one right here. These 3 that I've built didn't have any problem being placed there. But for some reason, that doesn't make any sense to me. This one does? I mean, the whole floor was built exactly the same, and these 3 had no issue. And now all of a sudden, this one's like, I don't like it here. They have the same flooring. Everything is exactly the same. Let's just try a little extra support around the outsides. What the hell? Maybe that's what it doesn't like. Okay, it's all the way around. Okay, there's not a single floor piece missing. Let's recover the whole thing. Yeah, it's the 1 block this way, it works perfectly fine. Nope, it doesn't like, see, and I go a couple blocks that way and it works just fine. But for some reason, there's something right there it does not like in that particular spot. All right, well, we're going to go with the lesser of 2 evils. I'm not going to scoot it forward because I need the room. So we're going to take this goofy garbage out. And we're just going to drop it 1. It'll be all right. I won't see it after I get it placed and I get it connected. I really will never probably ever come back and look at this again. So... for now, we're going to move on. But it makes absolutely no sense. Unsupported, but it literally has the exact same support as the other 3 that had 0 issues. So weird. All right, so we're going to do this. Okay, come this way, and you will work right there. See, won't work there, but it'll work 1 down. So we're going to put it 1 down. It's really... it's gonna... Robert Garza, welcome. As you can watch me freak out over this shit. It's... my brain is just totally in the Twitch mode right now. It's like, why? Must be logical. Oh well, we'll figure out how to make this work. We'll figure out how to make this work. Okay, so if we go click and up one, click and up one, click and up one, click and up, oops, nope, up one. Then we need to go click, and we're going to go all the way max height, and click and max height, and one more again, click and max height. Okay, that will match with those. That will just come in and match with those. And then now we need to do the one that's always a pain because it does not like to have anything underneath it when you try to lower one of these columns. Okay, now you got to pretty much look at it and then click, and then we're going down one. There needs to be two clicks difference in height between these. Just satisfactory two. Oh no. No. So much more. And I wouldn't even match it with satisfactory. I'll be completely honest. I don't think I would even. Satisfactory, in my opinion, has no rival. None. It is in a league of its own. 100%. This game has things that Satisfactory does not. It functions in a lot of ways that Satisfactory does not. It offers its own separate elements that do set it apart. Now, is it a factory game at its core? Yes. There are lots of other games that are also in that same realm of being a factory game at its core. This one adds more to it, and what I like to say is it adds the things that I wish Satisfactory had for me. But it is still a factory game at its core. If you don't like factory games of any sort, then you definitely would not like this game. I mean, there literally is no way. That's probably the best way that I could put that, is that if you absolutely hate factory games. Now, I will say this. My wife has never played a factory game of any sort ever in her life. And she plays this with me and has been having a blast with it. Okay, now we've got issues. Everything has to come down one here, I think. And she's never played these games. Never done factory games before, never done any of that. And this is her first factory game, and she actually finds herself enjoying this game quite a bit. So if you've never really done a factory game, I am still a pretty firm believer that you would still enjoy this game immensely. Again, it's early access, so there's a lot of stuff on it that they're going to update and correct and fix and adjust, and it will be just like Satisfactory in the end, in the way that, you may not exactly like everything about it at the moment, but they are listening to the community big time. And making adjustments, and I think that that's going to be that to me is a huge win for. We went the wrong way on that one. Huge win for them. Okay, we're going to go this way, and we went that way with the rest of them. Okay, now we have to bring in helium. So we're going to have to go this way because there's no real room to bring it in from the other side. Okay, 1, 2, we got 4, 4, and on 4s. We're hooked up. We're done. Okay, so now where are we going to bring in our... we need to put a receiver in a spot that is going to allow us to... I think that's... I don't think we can get any better in placement than that right there. Going down one, man. It's just such a... for some reason, it won't go through any of that stuff. It's like, nope, I'm not going down. And we are over again in our heat absorption, so we're going to have to fix that problem. Oh, I guess I probably should have went one more, but that's okay. Alrighty. Let's mark this one so we know where to set stuff. Got to rename it. Okay, let's turn these on for heat sheets. Heat sheet. Heat sheet. Heat sheet. And heat sheet. And then let's go ahead and just set ourselves up some outbound connectors and a we need to put some heat sinks on this too, or this core is never gonna undo its thing. Okay, and we'll do that, and then we'll just adjust the rest for regular height. Make our life easier. Okay, for now, I'm going to put this storage depot right here. And we're just going to run all of these. Right down to this one. And the reason that I'm leaving and doing it this way is I perceive a future problem. Black Sheep, welcome. Cap K55, welcome. I perceive that we're going to need more of these furnaces making these heat sheets. So I'm going to have to do one of two things. Either I'm going to have to make heat sheets somewhere else and drop another receiver in right here and just run it to this storage so then I can just run it out. Or I'm going to have to figure out and maybe change these four furnaces and put them out here so that I have a little bit more room. Future problem for a future me. Okay, now we got to bring in helium. So now we got to go, let's see, yes I do. I have a transporter. So these teleporters right here, you only get them and you only get the blueprint for them after you complete the world engine / forgotten engine. Once you've completed that, then you unlock these. These are expensive. They take 500 quartz building material. And it takes 5 quartz to make 100 of these building materials. So when you go into the caves, man, okay, it's over at the class base. You're going to have to spend you're going to have to save as much as you can. No, we're bringing in glass. We're bringing in glass there. Okay, so here's the glass base. All right, where's this one going? That one's going nowhere, so we're going heat sheet nozzle. And we'll drop that glass in there. That'll solve that problem. Do that. Oh, it's already too fast. Okay, well, we'll drop that out of our inventory. So now it's going to take this. Whoop, off it goes. We're going to cheat just a little so that it doesn't take it forever. We're going to grab ourselves a little extra glass. And then we're going to take it back over there. We are Nozzle Base. That's where we're headed. Probably should fill in the rest of that right there. Okay, so now we are bringing in the glass that we need, and it's doing its thing. What we need to do, to be honest, is I need to get just a little bit of a... Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I don't want to do it, but we're going to do it. We need to put one of these right here. And then we're going to take that and run it from there to here. We're going to choose glass. And then I'm going to go from here. Can I go from here? That's better. There. There we go. There we go. Now we've got it. Night shift. Welcome, Foxers.
I need to drink something.
Yep. Okay, we're going to drink something. Okay, we got to do some food, too, at some point here. So we're going to have to go deal with some of that. Okay, we're bringing in lots and lots and lots of stuff. We'll get the glass built up in here. There we go. Okay. That'll fill up all of these. These should be producing. Why do we not have titanium? Oh, because guess what? You have to plug it in, stupid. Ding-a-ding. Okay. Now we got it. Night Shift. I love this game. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been ridiculously addicted to this game, big time, for multiple reasons. One, it has the things that I wish Satisfactory had. I wish Satisfactory had a little more combat. I wish Satisfactory had some food and water pieces to it as well. Patrick, welcome. So this game gives you food and water as an issue. It gives you more combat elements to do. Not saying the Satisfactory doesn't have it, but there's an intentional point here for it, where Satisfactory has it as a bit of a side note. And food and water, none of that garbage matters. The Satisfactory, you can just run forever and days, no big deal. Nexus. Yes, matter of fact, it's right here. But at this point, all this does is just give you damage. That's all it is. It's their way. So the map is huge. This map is massive. Okay. It's their way of keeping us out of, like, they built the whole map. Here's your map. But there have story parts, there's parts that aren't finished, and it's their way of being able to keep us out of parts of the game that aren't done yet. You really can't. You can go into it, and if you have the right stuff and food and things like that, you can survive for a little while in that area, but you're not building anything in there. You're not making a base. You're not doing any of that kind of stuff like that. It's a very ingenious way, in my opinion, to be able to say we have the whole map created, but you can't go in as part of the map. Not yet, because we're going to unlock it when we're ready to unlock it. I think that's really cool. Back to... Oh my goodness. Nexus, they have so much to add. This game is early access. It's been out, I think this is the 6th week now. And and they have at least 4 major updates this year alone that they already have on their roadmap. They already have it planned out. It's already there, ready to go. And well, it's planned. The first one, they announced a bunch of the pieces of it last week. They announced a bunch of it last week. So, but they haven't given the full release yet. So they have got a lot planned for this game. A lot. New creatures, new resources, more story to go on to, more things to solve, more parts to make. Tons and tons. I'm not sure if vehicles are fully in the plan. I know that one of the things that I said like early on would be really nice to have is zip lines. And they confirmed it last week. There are going to be zip lines. Most definitely going to be zip lines. So I'm like, wee, that's wonderful. Is there going to be more than zip lines? I don't know yet. I don't think they've really released that yet. But I'm a really busy person between the streaming and my book writing and that kind of stuff that I do. I don't have as much time to sit on the forums and their Discord page and watch these things go, so that I can really come up with the best updates. So I am sorry. I try. It's just a lot to try to capture in between 7 Days to Die still doing updates, between StarRupture being in its infancy and having as many updates that it's got planned. I've got 2 games coming up that I'm going to be able to get early access to. One will be this weekend, as far as I know. Things are still good. Ormod, another survival crafting game that is coming. I'll have early access playthrough, I believe, all weekend long, starting on Friday. I haven't got the official letter yet, so that's a game I've been paying attention to. And then another great game that I am so excited when the time comes that I'll get to show you guys. It's called Under a Rock. Freaking game looks so awesome. Big time awesome. So I'm super excited. This game, the learning curve can be just a little bit. There's some nice things in there that will help you. One, if you haven't learned how to lay multiple items down like these flooring pieces, when you have it selected, if you hold down the right mouse button, you can then select a larger multi-group to put down. That's a big one that a lot of people, the game doesn't really tell you, doesn't show you that. Another one is these towers. Now I'm going to go into the drone mode. These towers, if you click the center mouse button and use the mouse wheel, you can raise and lower the height of just the beam itself. That's another one they don't show you that is very, very, very useful to have. Those are 2 pieces that nowhere do they tell you about those when you're starting a game. Like, they don't give you any, there's not even a hint that you can do those. So those are 2 big pieces that you need to learn how to do. The drone, when you unlock it, it's great for around your base. It's bad. It doesn't work very well if you're out there in the wilderness. It doesn't do a very good job in that aspect. Let's see, what other tips or tricks that I got to think here. Another problem is when you drop out of the drone or you're using the drone, sometimes when you go to put in a rail, you'll be pointing where you want the rail and that rail piece won't show up. It'll look like it's completely gone. You'll be like, where to go? All you got to do is just hit the B key, come back into here, hit B again, drop out of it completely, hit B again, open it back up, reselect, and it'll be back where it's supposed to be. It's a glitch. Just is what it is. They already know about it. So that's how you fix that problem. Let's see. Patrick, hopefully I said hi. Alan or Alain, welcome. TI, welcome. Satisfactory is all focused on make as much as you can and push it forward. This game is make what you need, and I'm going to pull it forward. So I'm going to pull what I need forward. You're not going to have rails that are packed with material waiting to go. Each module, each manufacturing item says that I need this item. Please send it to me. And so each one of these little pieces here on a rail are like little pieces of code that says, oh, I need to go to this particular fabricator, or I need to go to this particular area. If you take that area out, these start going bing, 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 and they have a little red light on the end of them saying that I can't get to where I was supposed to go. And so that's a way to help you troubleshoot. Sometimes you may have just changed the direction of the rail, and all you have to do is just look at it and hit E, and you can pick it up off the rail, and everything is fine. Everything after moves like it's supposed to. But it's calling for a particular item. So my fabricator is calling this tower and saying, send me a piece of wolfram bar. And so it's only going to send out a piece because that's all that was asked for. Some people get that mixed in their head if they've played other games, where other games are like, here, let me make as much of this as I can, and I'm going to stuff it down your throat forward. This game doesn't. It says, I need this item, please send me that item. I need this item, please send me that item. And so it's a pull, not a push. Hopefully I explained that so that it makes better sense. But that's how a push and pull system in manufacturing works. You only get what you ask for in a pull. A push, we're just going to keep stuffing it down your throat until you don't need it anymore. And even then, we're going to back it up in a cart sitting right next to your workstation, and you better start using them. That's push. So in this case, you're not going to have rails that have a whole bunch of product sitting on them waiting to be used. It's only going to send what it needs. So part of that makes it a little bit harder to troubleshoot. And the reason I say that is because when you're saying send me an item, as you can see here, the question is am I making enough of these plates to make my heat sheets? Well, I can look and I can see when I come in here, all I'm sending material to is one fabricator, meaning this one fabricator is making enough material to feed my heat sheets and these furnaces all the way down here. So I could expand this massively because I'm producing, my production, there's a particular word, my production ability exceeds my production usage. So I could, that's how I know that I can make more. Now, if all 8 of those fabricators were just cranking away, then it's a good indication that I'm not making enough. It's a great visual representation without having to crank numbers and do stuff like that. It's very, very useful. All right, for everybody who showed up, Mystical Vibes, welcome. Jimmy Carlo, welcome. And there's got to be some names I'm not seeing, but hey, y'all are just in time for a rupture on the game StarRupture. And these are fantastically scary. Fantastically scary. Oh, Curtis, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Appreciate that big time. You guys and your follows, man. You guys have been helping build this channel massively. I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do to thank you guys enough. You guys are making my dream come true. Oof. That is so terrifying. Every time I see it, still terrifying. But now we're going to see what happens when you don't manage your heat properly with all of the stuff that I upgraded and did. I screwed things up. Okay, so you can't go, it's funny because you can open your airlock door, you just can't step outside of it until that goes dark, and you'll get a little message in the bottom center of the screen that says, you know, the planet has cooled back down to a particular level. Come on. Come on. Now, a good thing about this is the fact that if you're struggling in an area, with creatures and you need to find a blueprint and whatnot, this is the moment where you can go out and explore and not have to worry about any creatures. I gotta get my core overheat level is too high and too off. I gotta drop it by another 20 points. Oh, God. $46, $120, and I can't build anything new on any of this. So now I'm kind of hosed. Could have avoided it pretty easy. Oh, messed up. Okay, I see it's starting to work. See how it's blinking? Means it's the heat's coming down. I did enough of this manually that now it's starting to work on its own. The more I do, the more I help it out. You know, more weapons would be, I don't know. I'll be honest. I think the weapons that we currently have for the creatures that we currently deal with are pretty sufficient. You've got a shotgun. Well, okay, maybe a heavy sniper, but at the same time, like oh, I see what you're talking about. The Goliath. I think it's the Goliath. That thing that blocks everything from the front. But if tanks, and I would call them rhinos. Somebody said that they were called Goliath. But yeah, they're probably the harder creatures to fight. It's also a great reason to have friends to play this game with, because one person can distract them, and the other person can shoot them in their weak spot, right in their ass. There's a very particular weak spot. If you can get it to rush you and dive out of the way, and it goes past you, and then turn around real quick and just shoot it in the ass, you actually can kill those guys pretty easy. Somebody said with a shotgun it's like 6 rounds. I don't know what they're going to do with weapons. That's a very interesting question in the whole realm of what next. See, I can't build anything until the whole base core cools off, and yeah, I screwed up. All I had to do was throw just one of those things down. That's all I had to do. I don't know, stopped it from... I would like to be able to customize more. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I would like more customizations for the weapons. You can build... I'd say you could build pretty close to a sniper rifle with the current rifle. It has a decent scope and a barrel that does allow you to do pretty good with that. So you can get close to a sniper rifle at this point. It's not the end-all be-all. It's not a sniper rifle. But it also, in this game, I don't know if you've seen it or experienced it, but there's a certain point, like you'll clear an area, and then later on you'll go run back through that area, and then the bugs will just up out of the ground, right at where you're at. And so they're not normally there, or they are there, but then they just, what up? And so, yeah, you end up with that kind of a problem too. Okay, I got such a freaking heat problem. Over here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able, can I build right there? Maybe because it's touching that, it'll help it. Not enough resources. It's blinking, it's going so slow. Okay, we got to run back and get some food, though. Our guy's going to die. So a sniper rifle in that case isn't going to do you any good. They're just going to pop up at your feet. And since you can only carry one of two weapons, you can only carry the pistol or the rifle, shotgun, whatnot. The only way that would really be better is if you could carry three weapons, and I don't know if they're going to do that. What I'd like, though, is to be able to upgrade this guy. I'd like to be able to upgrade my pistol. I don't know why they didn't add any upgrades to the pistol whatsoever. It would make any sense to me. Okay, we need food. Food. Let's do some of that. There we go. Actually, we need these more than anything. Okay. Now that that's settled, we'll keep that and the water. I don't know why I'm carrying around so much ammunition with me. What I do need is more intermediate building material. What? I can't? Get out of here. Really? Hang on. Hold the presses. What? Oh, man. Made me ink. I don't know what to tell you. If I didn't have viewers, I don't know what the hell I'd do playing video games. I don't want to say your whole name, but I'm going to say your whole name anyway. Jelly Dick Nexus just brought up a great point. You can swap your pistol out for another weapon. So you can carry an assault rifle and a shotgun and the machine gun, and the assault rifle. What? I did not know this. So all hail Nexus and actually paying attention to the game and knowing that you can swap out weapons. Shit on me. did not, I never even, it never even crossed my mind to try that. Like, that's how bad video games have conditioned me to think. Never even crossed my mind to say, what's this little symbol? I can swap it out. Never crossed my mind. Nexus is the hero of the day. But now I need to make some ammo for it. So how do I make that ammo? Crapola. But I also need to make some intermediate stuff too. I need rods. Of course I need rods. Why would I not need rods? Rods are the bane of my existence in this freaking game. I'm not making any, you know what? I could take all this down and make rods. Bye. You, hey, guess what? You are already making rods. What are you making? You're making plates. You need to make rods. And you're already making rods. And you need to make rods. There we go. Problem solved. Problem resolved. I'm making a ton of those. I'm not keeping them. Get rid of them. Come on now. Do we need these tubes anywhere? Do we have any need for tubes? I'm going to take that rods, though. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take those rods. And then, do we have need? I'm making tubes elsewhere. That's why I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, let's get rid of this garbage. Because that's just in my way. We're not shipping anything out from here. So we will fill in this stuff. We are making we're making the tubes over there to ship down here for applicators. That's my spot. Nope, that's my spot. My butt is in my spot too. I probably can take all of this out of there. William Wallace. What are we rebelling against this day? Tox is in the house. Okay, where are we shipping? Where are we shipping these things? We are shipping stuff. Let's just follow the rail. Follow the rail. Follow the rail. Okay, we're shipping these over here. We don't need any of these. We're going to get rid of them. I don't like to waste, but I don't want to keep it in my inventory because I got nothing to do with it. It's just going to be in the way. We're got to get rid of it. And I don't need those either, so let's get rid of that. I need those. Okay. Gilly May, welcome. Let's just take a quick, we have a base, a little habitat right here. And we can make the ammo that we want. Let's take this out of the way so that ammo can go right there. Nope, it's this ammo. Okay. That solves that problem. Drop that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. And then I got too much ammo. Can we put some in here? Not there, but probably should put some up here. Oh, hey, looky there. I got what I need. I got what I need. Right there. Let's take this, this, and let's make some more intermediate. We need some of that. We're going to max that out. Yep, we are. Okay, let's put that back up in there. That goes in there. Let's keep this because we're going to keep building. I don't think I need all that stuff, but that's okay. Let's put these in there in case we ever die. We at least got some ammo. Another tip that I always give is everywhere you put a base core, put a habitat. And the reason I say that is if you're ever out messing around, exploring, doing whatever, and all of a sudden you forget the time and you get a wave warning, that base core then says where you have a place to hide. And so you're going to ping as fast as you can there. Plus, it also lets you go in and build stuff, make food, resurrect, do all those things that you need to do if you're out and about. Because one of the big things is if you're exploring, you come here to the analyzer and you've got things that you can analyze for more data points. And if your inventory's full and you have one of these and you put an analyzer station in, then you can analyze it all and free up more space. Have you tried World of Sea Battle? Is that like World of Tanks? Because I think I have. For a little while, I was a huge World of Tanks player. I played the hell out of World of Tanks. And then it got to a point where World of Tanks turned into a pay-to-win, and I don't play games that are pay-to-win. World of Sea Battle, it's in early access. All right, I'll have to go look it up. Beastly Barbie, welcome. All right, so we need nozzles here, and we need crap. We just need nozzles right there. We need nozzles though to do turbines. I need valves. Valves will come off of nozzles as well. Hardening agent, pressurized helium, pump and pressurized helium. So we need to come look at our recipes. And refinery. Okay, refinery is pressurized helium. We need some of that. We need 3,000 sulfur ore. So we're going to have to go look at that. We need to go back, though. One of the things that I need to do, I need to go... I could use a teleporter over here. That is true. I need to go finish the nozzles, though. I have to finish the nozzles. I got to finish the nozzles today. I'm tired of messing with that nozzle base. I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of messing with it. Okay, let's do a teleporter. Can I get away with it right here? Oh, what are you doing? Don't freak out. What are you freaking out for? Hello, Christy. Apex Slayer. Welcome. Okay, now we need to enable this one. Usually I name it calcite base. Okay, confirm. Got that. Calcite base is in. We can get back over to the nozzle base. We do... I have over at the glass. I need shit. Let's get our map real quick. We gotta find helium. Okay, none of it works without helium. Helium there. There's some helium here. It doesn't show it on the map. The map's wrong. But there is some helium that sits right here. It's not wolfram, it's helium. And then I've got 3 sets of helium over there. I just need enough helium to go right here. And this is set up, so I may go here and just grab that helium and ship it specifically to there. Technically, I should go look here and see what we have room for. But let's go back to the nozzle base really quick. Let's make sure I got a place to send it. If I don't have a place to send it, it's pointless. Did my base cool off yet? Hopefully, finally, maybe. Okay, I think. Okay, things are running again. Let's. Spark Cipher, welcome. Let's make sure that we don't have a problem with heat again, shutting our base down, because that sucks. Especially when it shuts it down for long periods of time, like it just did. That's rough. Stan the Stash. Spark Cipher. This is not satisfactory. I absolutely can understand how you might come across that. But this game is called StarRupture. It is satisfactory-esque. Okay? It is in the realm of games like that. Factory building kind of games. However, this game incorporates the need for more exploration, because some of your blueprints that you're going to need are out in the map in other places where there's buildings and stuff to search for to find your blueprint. So you're going to have to go there, find a blueprint that you need to be able to ship off to the big ship in the sky, just like Satisfactory, but you've got to go explore to find that. They don't just give it to you when you get a certain point. There's some base defense. There's more bugs that you have to fight and protect your base from. So there's an element there. This star right here ruptures and wipes all of the plant life and the bugs and everything off of the planet about every 40-45 minutes or so. So you've got to be careful because it will kill you if you're not paying attention. What else is there that's a little bit different? It uses rails. It uses rails instead of conveyor belts. And Satisfactory, you push all of your stuff out as you're making it. You continue to push. In this case, each one of these items requests what it needs from the previous stage. And so you don't get a bunch of stuff stacked up on conveyor belts, which is what happens in Satisfactory. This game, and you have food and water that you have to worry about in this game. Satisfactory, you don't. Does it have trains, trucks, ships? No. Not currently. This game is in early access. It's only been out now for about 6 weeks-ish. About 6 weeks-ish. It hasn't even had its first major update yet. You're not going to have trains. You're not going to be shipping trucks. It really isn't that big in that aspect. They have a roadmap already set up. Should be about a major update every quarter. We are going to get zip lines. I'm cool. Zip lines. Yee. It's a great game. For me, it's everything I wish Satisfactory would have added in that Satisfactory didn't. So if you're a big fan of Satisfactory, I absolutely would say you will love this game. Right? I say it with confidence that you really would love this game. You just have to remember this game is where Satisfactory was when it first released, not where Satisfactory is right now. Because that you can't compare a game that's early access 6 weeks out to the current version of Satisfactory. You just can't. The current version of Satisfactory is just way more developed. It's had way more time to cook. Can you build buildings around parts of your factory? Well, so in this game, there's not really buildings. Okay, there's no walls, no ceilings. You have to be creative if you want a 2-tier base. It takes a little bit of effort to do that. Is that saying that it won't come in the future? No. It very well could be something that comes in the future. Just right now, it's all about the base building and the functionality of everything to making it make sure that it works right and everything is good, and that you, the player, are going to have an opportunity to, get into the game and make input. Sure. Well, thanks for stopping by, Sparks. Appreciate you doing so. Hope to see you again. Okay, we need the big manufacturers. We need mega presses to make our stuff. So we have got to incorporate 3 major items. 2 of them are coming from down here. I really want to go that direction. So let me get my character out of the way, and then I'm going to use the drone. Because again, the drone works really good in this aspect. Okay. Last time I did this base, I did 3 of these. We're gonna try 4. Okay. We're gonna try 4. So we've got heat sheets and stabilizers coming that way. So I've got to leave room for at least 2 to come around. And then I got to have room for at least 1, 2, 3 to feed in. So if we go right there. Okay, let's hit Y so it locks it at that Z level, stays even. Please don't have bounced. Okay. That's 3. Can we get away with 4? Can we get away with 4? Let's get away with 4. Okay. All right. Now we need to put in a cargo receiver. Okay. So we're going to bring in helium. I want to put it right. Get right there. And then I want to put a storage depot right here, because we're going to need a lot of that stuff, and I want to make sure we've got a good backup here. Yes, it is freezing a little bit. It does that every time it saves, and it does it sometimes when you've got a big base and you're putting lots of items down. It can cause it to hesitate a little bit. It's in the game. They know about it. It's something we're waiting for a fix on. It's not, you just, for right now, you just got to tolerate it for another week or 2. Trust me, it absolutely just gets me twitching sometimes, but we'll get through it. They'll get the updates in. It'll be all good. Okay. All right. So now we got to do our fancy schmancy. We're bringing 3 items in. So we're going to 1 down, 1 up, 3 up. So click the center mouse, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll come over here, click center mouse, 1, 2, 3, click, same here, 2, I think that's 3. Okay, now we're gonna do, this one is gonna go up 1. Up 1, up 1, and up 1. Now this is the part that one's the closest one. You got to take the floor out. It's stupid. I hate it. I hope they fix that. I don't know if they're going to or not, but it doesn't like when you lower the connector. It does not like anything being underneath of it. So you got to take the floor out. It's stupid. Even if you just have nothing but this plate sitting there and there's nothing underneath the plate, which essentially is saying that this whole piece is going to replace that plate, it does not like it. If you want to lower the rail, then you've got to take the floor out completely. I don't know. Okay, and then center mouse, and I just need to drop 1. Okay, now I'll usually drop out of the drone when it comes to doing the rails. Just for some reason, I seem to be faster. Can I? Oh, I hate the way that looks. We'll do that. These rails close up, the height is so wonky and different that, yeah, see, I'm screwed right there. Okay. So we're going to have to go from here. Let's go to the outside. Stop. Outside, and then we grab this one, and yeah, we can go to either one of those. Okay, we just have to do it that way. No big deal. Okay, so these two are going to go this way. Let's do that. You there. And you on the outside. And you on the inside. And then we'll just keep moving this down. Oops. Grab this and keep moving it down. Oh, you went to the wrong one. Woo, went to the wrong one. Wrong hole. Okay. All right. I think we got it. I think we got it. Okay, this is going to be a little squirrely. Because somehow we ended up on the wrong... Somehow we ended up in the wrong hole. But guess what? She liked it. So we're going to use it and move with it and go anyway. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take that and we're going to go up there. We're going to take this and we're going to go here. And then we're going to do this and we got to rename it. You don't necessarily have to name the distributor, but you have to name the receiver, because that's how you know which one to send it to from the other end. Okay. This is the helium for the helium for the nozzle. When I go back and find helium, I know where to go. I take this and put the helium there. Now it knows where to go. Okay. All three are hooked up. All three are hooked up. All three are hooked up. This one is going that way. These are going that way. Okay. I think we're good. Now we have to run. Okay, we need to go right here. And then I'm going to put this one right beside it. And then we're going to go right here. And then that one is going to go right here. And then that one, we're going to take it. We got to delete. Ugh. Okay. Drives me bonkers. Okay, and then that one needs to go right here at normal height. And so we'll take this one, go there, this one to there, this one to there. We come out and come around. You know what? We're gonna be anal retentive just like that. Yes, we are. We're gonna do it. Okay. All right. That gets our stabilizers over here. And now we've got to get our heat sheets over here. And because I know that there's the possibility that I'm gonna have to make more of those. I'm gonna go this way with this. Yeah, because if I have to make more of the furnaces to do more heat sheets, I still want the exit to be over here. So we're gonna do that instead. I think this is gonna work. I do want to put a gun though over here, a turret to protect some of this stuff, because I do have a feeling that some of the bugs might decide that this is a good place to make a mess. Okay. You are loaded. You're going to protect it from over here. We'll call that good. I probably should put one over there, but I don't have the ammo with me right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Are we finally going to be able to start making nozzles? Oh, I don't have any helium coming here, though. All right, well, we're going to just start selecting nozzles. And the helium will be the last thing we got to get. But there's our stabilizers. And there's our heat sheets. All right, everything's doing its thing. All right, let's go find some helium. Okay, do I want to run there? Because literally there's some right here. And I have something, a drone wreck right there. Yeah, screw it. We're gonna make the run for it. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Just get rid of that stuff. Okay. All right, that's all good. All good. All good. We are Lumpay. Welcome. So these drones are things that you want to find because you're after things like this. When you analyze them, you get additional data points that you'll use and need. So that's, as you're out at exploring, you'll have a little marker that shows where they're at. So we're Stephen Compton. Welcome. I've got this put up because I honestly thought that maybe I would be using the calcite that is sitting right here to make my glass. And then I would just run a line over there. However, we're making so much regular glass in the actual place where we're making glass. I don't need to do the extra. So if we find out that we need to, that's where we'll do it at. No big deal. We'll just change. We'll build it a glass base right there, and then we'll just change the location of where we're shipping it from. No big deal. Again, it's all about just keeping in mind that if I'm going to have to expand my base, how do I do it? If I have to add more furnaces or more anything, where am I going to put it? Where's it going to come from? If you keep that in the back of your head while you're building, while you're exploring, then you can avoid a lot of unnecessary rebuild in what you're doing. Bow, 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 bow. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Stamina is a thing. Collect those for food. Oh, I heard it. I heard it. Woo! Always shoot the blue ones first. Losers. Okay. Hold my breath there for a second. I just want to make sure there was no more of them screaming little things coming at me. Ooh, bam, wow. Wow, gimme, 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 gimme. Gimme the purple mushrooms, Dad. We're gonna go see the pink elephants. Elephants on parade, elephants on parade. Some of you might not be old enough to understand that. Okay. We don't have anything built over there, so I think we're gonna go do that. We're gonna use that helium right there. But I'll bet you anything we gotta fight our way over there. They're just gonna come. They're just gonna come sprouting out of the ground. Come on, you losers.
Interesting thoughts.
Where are you guys at? Come on. Come on. I'm gonna wait till I'm like right on top of you, aren't you? No?
Good stuff.
Usually right here there's a couple of them. Actually, there's like a horde of them right here that pop up. Absolute nightmare to fight sometimes. Alright, look at that. 2 things of helium right there. We really only think you're going to need 1. Super easy. Ooh, come on, come on, come on. Unfreeze. Finish saving. Thank you. Gee, man, Christmas. God, I can't wait till they get that patch out. Fix that garbage right there. That's driving me nuts. Okay, so I hear noises. Maybe it was just the helium. Alright, helium time. Helium extractor. Go that way with it. Come on. That with it. Now, just for the simple purposes of making it easy, I just put one of these down. Technically, I could run all this over that base over there. It's already got power. It's got everything it needs, but I'm not going to go that far with it. I'm just trying to get it right here. 1, so I can put storage in. Get some storage depots going here. 2. We'll put 3. We're going to get this side, and we're going to put... Oh, come on. Line it up. Line it up. Make it look pretty. 2. And 3. And then we're going to connect them together, because, you know, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to take that. We're just going to go straight from there to there. We're going to go straight from there to there. And we're going to dunk-a-dunk. Dunk-a-dunk. Easy peasy. Helium 3. Helium 3. Helium 3. Same way here. Helium 3. Helium 3. Mike Chandler, welcome. Helium 3. Alright, now we need to build cargo dispatcher. We're just going to line that up right up with that one. And then what I'm going to do also, though, is I'm going to do another one right. Why is that not going to line up right there? Right there. Oh, that one did not line up. I thought it lined up perfect. Oh, man. Don't get me around here. There we go. All right, so now we do this. Don't-ga-da-dong. Don't-ga-da-dong. We're not going to do anything. Oh, no. We can do this right now. Actually, we can select that. Oops. We need nozzle helium. We're going to tell it where to go. Right off the bat. Now we need to put in power. We need power. I'm just going to put it right on the end right here because I can't really put anything behind these. Do-do-do-do. Imperial. I'll put one right there. All right, that should give me like more than enough power. Joseph Richington, welcome and thank you for that follow. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, so now these are going to it's just going to pump out helium-3. Constant. And then we told this one to take that helium-3 over there. And off it went. So now we're going to steal 200 more. And we're out. We're going to carry it back with us just to help with a little bit of the front loading. Because it always takes a little bit for it to get moving. And without that little bit of extra, it can tend to take a long time. And if you're trying to get the game moving, sometimes a little bit of front loading of the resources into the items is what you're going to want to do. Not a ton, but you definitely want to do it. And you want to have the resources on hand, and you want to front load them. You want to turn. I'll show you. You're going to want to turn off the manufacturing item with the fabricator, furnace, whatever. You're going to want to turn those off. Then select the item you want it to make, then front load the material into it, and then turn it on. And I'll show you why that's important here as soon as we get back over there. It speeds up the process. One, is just going to speed up the process, but two, it doesn't overload the system, make it take forever shipping parts. Come on, boys. Anybody else want some? No? Okay. Let's go back to our rifle. Ooh. Let's go get the goodies. We want the goodies. Always got to get the goodies. Lifella 96, welcome. Alrighty. Rockin' and a rollin', rockin' and a rollin'. Let's go running. Gotta get it running. Gotta get it running. Jump off the cliff. Double jump. Use it to your advantage. It works. Slide. I totally forgot about the slide. The slide in this game actually is pretty useful. It is. All right, so as it's bringing stuff in, it is pushing it out. So what would happen if I had all of the resources and I turned all 4 of these on at one time, okay, you're looking at 400 stabilizers that it would be asking for at one time. That's a lot to get pushed forward all at one piece. So if you turn it off and you front load 100 stabilizers, 100 helium-3, and 100 heat sheets, and then you turn it on, now all it's asking for is just to be refilled, not to be filling it all the way up. That's where you can save yourself a lot of trouble. What is this game about? This game is about building stuff, building lots of stuff. You are a prisoner who was dropped on this planet, and you can kind of see it up there, but you were sent through a little wormhole deal and dropped on this planet to figure out what was going on and basically colonize it for future humans. But you're a prisoner, so you're kind of so what if you die and you don't make it? But this planet has tried to be colonized before, and so you have to build the stuff that you need. So in this case, we're making different things. There are corporations that are back home. If you've ever played the game Satisfactory, this game is in the same category as factory games, with some caveats. There is more exploration. There is more combat. More combat that you're going to need to do. And some base defense. Some of you are going to have to protect your factory from some bugs and stuff like that will attack your factory. And you find out through the story that they're attracted through the electrical usage. So the more electricity you use, the more they're attracted to your base. And then this thing, that star ruptures every so often and scorches the earth. And if you're not paying attention, it will scorch you. So, and it shuts down your base. It overheats everything on your base, shuts your base down. So not just do you have to worry about the amount of power that you have to run your base, but you also have to worry about how much heat your base is generating, so that when the star ruptures, it doesn't shut your base down for almost good. And then you also have to pay attention to the fact that if you increase your base core, which dissipates the heat, if you increase its capability, it draws in the bugs every so often to attack your base. So you have multiple things to do. You build a factory, you have to ship parts back to these corporations, and then at the same time you have to protect your base. You have a massive map that you have to explore and find stuff for. Huge map to go exploring on too. So this game gives you a lot of stuff to go do and experience, more so than, say, Satisfactory or Factorio. There's another factory game out there. I think I have it saved in Foundry. Foundry is another game that does the same thing. I haven't played Foundry. I have it on my wish list to play, to get, but so scary. They did a great job with that. But now everything is super hot. And my whole base is shut down, so it's not making anything right now. So let's go cool off the door. And you can open the door without taking damage, but if you step out there, it's too hot and you will take damage. I think there's some things that you can get that, whether it's food or a lem, a computer chip or whatever, that helps you resist heat better, but I don't know if it just lets you go out earlier here or not. I haven't tried it yet. So maybe in my single player testing game, I'll give it a whirl. But it's early access. It's been out about 6 weeks, called StarRupture. It has multiplayer with it from the start, so you're not going to have to wait for that, which is super cool. So see how it's blinking better this time than what it was before? Now that we put those added heat dispenser deals on there, this will all cool off a whole lot faster. Voila, there it is. That was way quicker. Alright, so we're still shipping our parts out here. We're making nozzles. We're bringing on our helium from that little base that we built out there real quick. Looks like we're even getting a buildup of nozzle of helium-3, which is great news. Great news. And yeah, so it's going to run. Oh, we have 100 nozzles. Okay. We need to do this now. We need to go ahead and give these nozzles some place to go. Oopsies. Is it offset? Really? What kind of horse poop pucky is that? That's freaking stupid. I can make it in the center if I do that, but that's takes up more space than I want to take up. So we'll just offset it. And then, oh, we don't have any more, so I guess we'll put some of these in. And for now, because we have to ship some nozzles off, I'm gonna do... Ugh, come on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have that come out. We're gonna do an orbital launcher, but I wanna...
I need to drink something.
Okay, we'll do that like that. Put that in the middle. We'll put this one over here. I don't care that it's raised up. Yes, I do. It drives me nuts. That drives me bonkers. Bonkers. All right, let's get these flowing. Freaking horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Nozzles. Send me your nozzles. We're sending off the nozzles. We're making nozzles. We have finally... we finally built our nozzle base. It only took us a freaking week. Took us way too long to do this. I'm just going to say that right now. It took us way too long to have to build this nozzle base. we used a lot of building material to make this happen too. A lot. And you keep cranking them out. 200. When I have another 100, then I will turn on all 3 of those and start shipping these off-world. Oh, you know what though? Do I need some of these for recipes? To unlock more recipes? I think I do. I think I do. Ugh. Okay. We got to run up to our base here so I can see the corporate board, because you can't put put the corporate board or any of this stuff in anything except for inside the habitat. We don't want the corporate board. What we want is the recipe station. All right, furnace. Do we need nozzles? No, we need that garbage. Mega press. Do we need nozzles? We need 200. We need 200 so we can make a valve. And we need valves and turbines. And we need the recipe or the blueprint for turbines that we don't apparently have. So we're going to have to go on the hunt. Refinery. We need 3,000 sulfur ore. Okay. All right, well, we need 200 nozzles to unlock valves. Okay. And who do we have to send the valves to? Or valves go to their nozzles. They want batteries, actually. You get more points for batteries. Turbines, hardening agent. Points. Get more points for batteries. I can't make a battery, though, can I? I don't think I can make batteries. Yeah, I don't have the ability to make a battery. Oh, no, right there. But I need this stuff. Sulfuric acid. And that takes chemicals and... Okay, well, we have the nozzles right now. We need 200 to be able to lock in... unlock another recipe. So we'll go over here and do just a little bit of work. Cutting through the factory. Where's your hard hat? Get a hard hat out. Yeah. Okay. We are pumping it out. Good job. Wow, look at us go. Look at us go. I need 2. 1, 2. Looks like you had another 100 in here. Hydration is low. We'll use that right now. Excuse me. Okay. We got 300 in here. We will momentarily. All right, let's start shipping them off-world. Shipping them away. See, so these nozzles are only worth 45 points. And we've got to get 179,000 at 45 points at a time. If I was doing batteries, I'd get 120 points per battery made. That's why I hate nozzles. You don't get very many points for them. And it is a lot of effort to build nozzles. A lot. I ran all the way back over there, and I could have ran right here. Oh, I'm a fool. Let's go ahead and look here. Mega press. 200. Now we've unlocked the valve. And so here's the fun thing. Here's another way to save yourself just a little bit of time. When you go up to any of your manufacturers, if you hit E, you see what it's making, and you can watch it pump it out, right? If you hit the recipe part, you can you can see what the recipes are for these items. As long as you don't click it, it doesn't change the recipe. So you can use this as reference. Say, okay, valves, we need titanium housing, titanium beams, titanium rods, and these nozzles. Now, if I just hit escape, I go back, it didn't change my recipe. It just let me reference it. Gary Goody, well, welcome back. All right, so valves. No, we need to go work on the other items that, like plastic. Let's go to the calcite base real quick. Because there is the silicon. And there is... Okay, so we don't need those. Let me take all these back. Okay, and then what are we making over here? We are making chemicals. So we know we're going to have to ship chemicals out somewhere else. Am I shipping them anywhere right now? I am not shipping my chemicals anywhere just yet. What do I need to make a battery? Can I make batteries here? I make hardening agent, but I cannot make a battery. I don't think I have enough. Okay, mega press. I'm just setting the mega press down so I can use it for reference because we don't have a option. And guess what? You don't make batteries here either. Batteries. Sulfuric acid inductor. And the electronics. You do make it in this thing, but why don't I have it? Because I think I need the sulfuric acid. And we need to go over to the glass space and find out what's going on over there. Woo, man, I love being able to use these teleporters. Having to run like we've been doing is rough. Okay, so we have some stuff going on over here. Are we making what we need over here? We are making what we need over here. We need 3,000 though. So let's see, that's 400. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16.
Nice.
And I just made a mistake doing that. 4. And 4 more. That is not going to get me where I need to go. I don't think I actually have a habitat over here. It's over here. I hope it's over here. I hope it is. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there. Recipe station. Go look. Okay, so what unlocks batteries? This unlocks batteries. Needs 1,500. Pumps need another 1,500. Wow. And how many did the furnace need? Another 1,500. It needs 500 more for the furnace. Okay. We don't have any need for the electronics. So I'm just carrying around waste. Let's see. So we are slowly building up points, but we are, I mean, mega press. Did we unlock it? Battery. We did unlock the battery, so now we can make it. Inductor, the electronics I'm making over there, and the sulfuric acid. So where do I want to make the batteries? That's the question. Can I make them right here? I can start making batteries right there. Because the sulfuric acid is right there. I'm not sure where the inductors are. So this is where it gets wonky. Okay, trying to remember where you've got crap being made. I know I'm making inductors somewhere. I know it, but I can't put any notes on my map. I can't change base core names, so I have no idea where I'm actually making the inductors. Yes, everything I built, all of it. Not that. I didn't build that. But I built all this base stuff. Let's see. We're going to do batteries right here. I think I'm going to make my batteries right here. I need more stuff though. Oh, we are really close on. Oh, okay, okay, hang on. We're low on heat right there. We're high on heat right here. So to be honest, I would want to build batteries over here. How far do I go before I run into more heat? Oh, shoot. Okay. I don't want to go this way because there's more heat over there. So to be honest, I probably want to take all of this out of here. I'm not going to build on this. There's a lot of heat right here. So we're going to pop all this off. Get rid of it so that we don't build there. What much time we got? We got 15 minutes. We're not going to get batteries done today. We'll probably finish batteries tomorrow. But it's pretty easy to remember what the heck we were building. At the same time, though, I'm going to use my brain, and we're going to put down just enough of what we need so that I can put down... Oh, I don't know. Dang it. All right, I might be writing myself a note. Nick, welcome. I may have to write myself a note. Well, no, I know we're going to be doing batteries. I can't be that stupid. I say that now, but if you watched me play 7 Days to Die last week, you'd think otherwise. All right, we got this. We just take this down because we're not building here anymore. We're generating 1,093 out of 1,200 heat here, and I don't want to have to worry about that. But if we go right over here, we're generating 197 out of 1,000. So we can build our batteries right here. Easy, 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 easy. So what we'll do is we're gonna do this. There. Ooh, 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 what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are you showing heat? We gotta go this way? Yeah, we gotta go that way. Okay, so we can't go to the right anymore. We can only come to the left. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. We can do that. We can do that. Okay. Can I build? I don't think I have the stuff to build. Oh, I can build a mega press. Okay. We're going to go this way with it. Can I do that? Can I get away with that? I can get away with that. Okay, and then I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select battery. There. Now I can't screw it all up. I know that we're making batteries. And I don't have enough intermediate building material to make any more, so can't do anything else there.
Delicious.
Okay, we need to build intermediate building material because we're going to build several more of these, and we need glass. So I'm going to come back up here and get the glass from right here. So we take 4 of those. You know what? Screw it. We're going to take 8 of those. We need let's just go look real quick, make sure I don't screw this up. Okay, we need titanium housings and inductors. So now I got to find out where the inductors are at, because I also need the inductors for the batteries. I have my sulfuric acid there. I have my other items, my electronics over there, and now I just need the inductors, and I'm not sure 100% where I'm making those. Shoo-hoo. We're going to go back this way and find our inductors. Again, I'm not 100% sure where they're at. Those are plates, I know that. What are we making over here? These are applicators. Oh, we definitely are needing those. Okay, we got to remember where the applicators are. This is important because we need the applicators for the hardening agent. Yeah, we're going to try to remember that. Okay, you guys are going to come up out of the ground right here, aren't you? No? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Need the little grubblers. Grubblers are good. They mix with another item to do a really good food that covers both your liquid and your calorie count. So, you ever see those? Grab them up. You want them. I think it's the grubblers and these picklers. These things here. Grubblers and these prickler, not pickler. And you can make the food stuff that helps both your calories and your hydration. Okay, these are nozzles. I know, not nozzles, these are impellers. And so the impellers, we actually want to go ahead and take this away, because we're going to have to ship these impellers, I think, to do the valves. And this little hesitation is because this base is really big and it's not been split apart. That's why it's doing this. Again, known bug or known issue. They're working on it. No big deal. We just have to tolerate it. Okay, we're not making inductors here. So gotta roll on. I do want to check right out here, though. I'm not sure what we are making here. I never build my bases the same. In all the games that I've played, everything is typically in different spots. So that's where I'm trying to figure out where my inductors are. Because they're clearly in a different spot than where I've had them. Because in one game, I have inductors being built, like right here. I think I have inductors being built down here somewhere, to be honest. We'll find out, though. Might be right here. Inductors. Okay. Click on that. I need those. And then I need those. Okay. I don't need impellers, so let's get rid of those. Now I just need the titanium housing. Okay, so we've got inductors right here, and here's our dilemma. Here's our dilemma. These inductors are coming out, and they're being fed into here to make the electronics, and we need these electronics to make the batteries. So we're going to be double tapping if we put down a dispatcher to ship some of these inductors out of here. over to the other side so that we can make batteries along with what is going to be used on the electronics that has to be used for the batteries as well. We're going to be hitting this one pretty rough. And I've got 4 right there, and I've got 4 right there. Now, if we do the mathematics here, I need 1 inductor, so that's 1 inductor every 5 seconds, okay? If I look at what it takes to make an inductor, it takes 1 every 3 seconds, and I've got 4 of these. So I need 4 every 5 seconds, and I can make 4 every 3 seconds. If I take away from this to ship to the other side, I'm not going to have enough. Not enough to feed both. Now I have lots in storage, so I would be able to feed quite a bit before it caught up with me. But it's going to catch up with me. So now the question is what is the most? I need 2 and 2. And I'm already, look at my tubes are already right on the verge. My tubes are right on the verge of not being enough. And if I'm looking at my ceramics, 86, so then we get 1 and then we go back to 86. I'm not making any extra ceramics that I need. And when it comes to shipping in the wire I need, I'm shipping in just enough. So I couldn't even take another furnace and build 1 or 2 more furnaces off of this because I'm barely keeping up with what I'm using right now. Okay, that's a dilemma we're going to have to solve for tomorrow. Let's run over and get the titanium housings. We will make our intermediate building material so that we can get the rest of our stuff done, but we're going to have to pump up production of a couple of items. Or we're just not going to have enough. And I think I'm limited. I'm tapped out on the limit of what I can make here. Maybe not. What are you doing? Why are you just sitting there with your thumb up your butt? So are you. Okay, so I've got at least 2 of those that I can do, but these are working. Yeah, these are working full bore. And what do I have coming in? I've got lots of raw material coming in, and that one's working, that one's working, and that one's working. So I've only got 3 of these out of 5 working. So technically I could get these kicking just a little bit more, and or I could put maybe another one on here. It's constantly shipping though. This isn't doing really any work right here though, because I really haven't. I'm gonna need this though, because that's something we need. I don't want to tear this down and reconfigure it, which is our dilemma. We are in a pickle in order to do our other stuff. I could use this, Or, literally, or I could start taking the ore, tear all this down and take this ore and ship this ore over there and expand those. Not exactly sure what's the best option at this point. Intermediate building materials. We need more basic building material. Humph. Okay. All right, we got a bunch. Let's do one more. We'll just take the rest of what's out there. And yeah, just those other 4. But we are going to have to solve a logistical problem because we are not making enough of what we need. Let's go ahead and open that. Let's put a bunch of this stuff in there. We don't need all of that. Keep that out of the way. Keep that out of the way. Do that. I want these up here. Let's look at our recipes. Let's look at the food ones, the hydro bulbs. Long way to go there. Long way to go there. Prickler. Got to do that. This Nutrigel is the one you want. It does 40 calories and 50 hydration. It takes the grubblers and the pricklers, and it just one item covers both of those. And it doesn't give you any toxicity. This one gives you toxicity, so you don't want that one. And the neutral block capsules, again, also gives you toxicity. Things you don't want. Okay, let's take this and we'll put this in here, claim that, put that in there, claim that 400. That works really well for me. Put that up. Alrighty, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call that a stream. We're just over 3 hours. Good stuff today. We finally got the nozzle finished. Nozzle done. Oh my goodness, that's an effort. But now we need batteries. And we don't have the supply line in the way that we need it strong enough to support batteries. And so now we have to figure out, do we make a whole new separate supply of inductors, which might turn out to actually be easier than expanding the current one. But we'll solve that mystery for tomorrow. So you're going to want to check back in tomorrow during the day. It's 2 Eastern time. And check out what we decide to do for inductors and how we decide to make our batteries. So that'll be tomorrow. We will be back in an hour with our 7 Days to Die game. And we're doing survivalist difficulty, and we have been getting our butt just beat. Last week, man, we just, every time we turned around, we died. We got our butt kicked. We're just trying to get through tier 5s, tier 5 quests and POIs. But if you check in an hour, there should be, and if you're on right now, you're getting the notification early. We're probably stepping right into a horde night, a day 7, day 64, 65, something like that, horde. We ran into a whole bunch of trouble at the end of last stream, but we ended up on a horde night, and then I logged out. And so I think when I log back in, the horde is going to immediately start. So we're going to start this week off with a horde, and hopefully we don't get tanked on this one, because we didn't have anything fixed in our base. We don't have any extra. We don't have nothing. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. We'll see how the week starts. 1 hour from now, 7 Days to Die, survivalist difficulty. Tomorrow, we're back. StarRupture. We're going to work on batteries. I hope you guys have a great day. If I don't see you again, if not, I'll see you in an hour for the next stream. Thanks, everybody.